Hello, it's Amy from Amy Parker Art, and I teach you how to make money with your art, as well as we do some fun, creative things together, which we are going to do tonight. We are going to paint fall reflections right here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We are doing this because we're celebrating. We are celebrating the opening of Creative Warriors. We are open for the membership until Sunday night. We also have a fun challenge going on right now, which is the Painting and Business Challenge. So if you signed up for that, don't forget to join the Facebook group where all the fun happens with that. I'm actually just doing a couple little techie things on the side here. Okay, I just have to go and share this into our Paint and Business Challenge so everyone can paint along with us. So give me one moment to do that. And then we will get started. So if you are going to paint with us right now, these are the brushes that I have out, so you can take a look at these. I have a wide flat. I do have a couple of angles, a bristle brush. I do have a detailed as well. For the birds that we're going to paint in the sky. That's optional. You don't have to do that. Okay, so let's do tutorial. All right, so I just had to put that in so that we can have that going. Okay. I didn't send it a text to you all because for those of you that are on my text list, I already sent one out earlier today, and I don't want to bug you twice in a day. I already told you that I would be going on here at 7 o'clock to paint fall reflections with you. So that's what we are doing. Okay, fall reflections tutorial. I'm just sharing it inside of Creative Dreams, which is the free group that I have for you. If you're not in there, you're welcome to jump in. Okay, sorry, I had to do all those techie things. I love it when you go ahead and let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for being here. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you are going to paint with us tonight. I'm a quick, fast painter. Sometimes I'll slow it down a little bit. Thanks for saying hi, Lisa. At least I know my comments are working, so that's wonderful. All right, so, from Tennessee, woo, woo. My husband was just talking about Tennessee, like we want to go to Nashville. I've been to Nashville once before, but my husband hasn't gone, so he would love to do that. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to paint this step by step with you, okay? If you are not ready, if you don't have your paints ready and brushes ready to do this, that's all right. You can just hang out here, watch, and then you can come back and pause and paint on the recording because I'll leave it right here on the page for you, like I always do. All right, so with the Paint and Business Challenge, which started yesterday, we did paint. It's only $10 to get in. If you want to sign up, go ahead and let me know. I will go and put the link in here for you. But we did paint the apple orchard, and we're going to be painting Solitude as well. That one's actually hanging way back there on the wall, so I'm not going to go grab that. Those two paintings, as well as this fun one that we are doing now, I'm giving you the rights, especially if you're in the challenge, and I'll give you tips on how to do that. Giving you the rights to go ahead and sell these designs of mine that you create as a one-off sale. Because if you follow me, you know that I have done that for myself. I've paid my mortgage and my bills with my art income alone, which was such a dream, and I didn't think that would ever happen in a million years, but it did. So I turned around and created Creative Warriors membership to teach you all how to do that. Teach you my strategies. All right, so we are using a 16 by 20. If you don't have 16 by 20 canvas, that's totally fine. You can paint this on any size canvas that you so choose. You can do an 8 by 10, 11 by 14, or whatever you want, really. You could use your multimedia pad. That's fine too. So basically, there's no right or wrong here. Just be creative and just have a good time. Lisa says, my hope is to be half as good as you are. Oh my gosh, you are so sweet. Thank you for that. Lisa, you are just adorable. I'm sure you're going to do just wonderful and you will surprise yourself, right? Are you in the challenge that's happening? I hope so, because we are going to do those 2 paintings I had mentioned. Plus, we're doing this fun one right now. Sorry, you're going to be able to see my shadow, apparently, the way I have my my ring light set up tonight. But you know what? We're going to just roll with it, okay? Quick announcements. If you're just joining me and you did not hear, Creative Warriors is open right now. It is the membership where I teach you how to market your paintings online organically. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for being here. All right, so we are going to be doing step-by-step fall reflections. Is it going to come out 100% exactly the same? No, because this is a rendition, another reproduction of my painting that I've already created and sold. The one I just showed you, that one is my example to show you, but now we're going to be creating another one. So I'm just using a regular flat brush. This is about 1.5 inches. And if you don't have all the supplies that I'm using, that's okay. Just use what you have and create something cool, all right? I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to dip my brush into my black, and then I'm going to mix it into my blue. So I'm just doing like, excuse me, a little dab of black into blue. I'm not getting too crazy with that because then it would be like super dark. But I like to do that to get sort of like a slate blue kind of color. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can even use different colors if you want. I'm just having fun with you, walking you through, celebrating Creative Warriors being open. I hope that you join us and become a Creative Warrior. And if you're not ready, then that's fine. You join when you are ready. If you want to jump into the Paint and Business Challenge, which is happening, you go ahead and do that as well. So with Fall Reflections, my painting design, I titled it that because it's like a reflection, okay? So I wanted you to see again what we are creating in painting right now. Super fun. You could put all kinds of cool fall colors in here. If you wanted to put different colors, that's fine too. So I just wanted to give you another visual. I can't have them both up at the same time because then it would be so tiny if I had to back up the view, and then you wouldn't be able to see what the heck's happening. All right, so I'm just going to grab some white now. I already have some of that blue still left on my brush, and I'm just dipping into my white, and then I'm going quickly back and forth, just laying it on and dragging it back and forth, like super fast. I'm using acrylic paints, and literally, you all, I'm using like cheap craft paints, really, just fluid apple barrel craft paints. I know that one is red, and I'm using blue right now, but that's the brand that I'm using. Once again, no right or wrong. You can use like Art Deco, or you can use your heavy, thick-bodied paints if you would like. Let me know what your favorite paints are to use. Now, I do a lot of heavy body paints, but I do a lot of this too, just like I'm doing right now, just my fluid acrylic craft paints. And believe it or not, you can paint gorgeous paintings just with that. Hello, Wanda. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and say hi when you pop on. Let me know where you're watching from. I would love to know that. What I have on my palette is black, white, blue, and a little, that's it. Black, white, and blue. I was going to say a little black, but I already said that. I'm dipping my corner of my flat brush that I'm using into my black and mixing it into my blue a little. And listen, I'm like a fly by the seat of my pants kind of painter. So literally I'm not like measuring anything out. I'm just literally doing what I showed you, like dipping here, spinning this. And I like to leave, for me anyway, I like to leave some of the colors like not mixed on my brush, because as I swipe them across my canvas, they actually make really cool looking colors. Hello, Christine. My friend Christine is here. Hopefully I'll be able to see all your comments, because sometimes this platform has a little glitch, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to see them. All right, so even though, this is called Fall Reflections, and we're doing a reflection here, that's why I'm going to be hopping up and down from both sides of the canvas to paint this. I don't know. I'm getting a squirrel moment already. I'm forgetting what I'm saying. Oh, I was going to say, it doesn't matter if it's absolutely, totally perfect on the top and the bottom. Come on, this is a hand-painted painting, all right? So don't stress about it. I miss you too, Christine. I hope I see you soon. Oh, you are so sweet. Hello, Beth. Thank you so much for being here, sister. All right, so now I want to lighten up a little bit. So because this example, you can see it's darker on the top and the bottom, because here's the reflection. And as we go up, it gets a little bit lighter. So to get lighter, we need to make sure that we're picking up a little more white, right? So I'm just gonna grab some more white, and I like to try and paint fast, because that way my acrylic paints won't dry on my canvas, and I can still manipulate those around. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now I do have a little bit of medium, it's called, on my fancy palette here, which is a foam dinner plate. I have a little bit of a medium, and I haven't even dipped into this yet. Medium is so that it will slow the drying time, and it will also be able to help glide your brush back and forth on the canvas a little bit better. So you most certainly can use some medium if you like. I might have actually got too much blue inside of my white as I was talking to you. Big surprise. But I'm going to just put a little more white on my palette. I mean, I could take the time to actually wash my brush, right? Could do that too, but, well, I just want to move forward with you and show you how cool this is, how fun it is, how easy to paint it is. And guess what? I have sold numerous fall reflections to my customer base, and my average price for this painting was $60. So, that's because I'm using fluid craft paints and I am painting quickly, right? So I know a lot of artists ask, well, I don't know how to price my paintings. Well, inside of Creative Warriors, we talk all about that stuff, and I'm going to be giving you business tips inside of the Paint and Business Challenge that is running now and happening. So you can ask me questions here. You can ask me questions in the challenge if you like. And what I'm doing here while I'm bending over and you're seeing the back of my head is I'm painting the sides of my canvas, because when I sell these to my collector gets it at home and they unwrap it and put it on their wall, I want them to be able to see, or I should say not see, just like plain white edges around. So for example, on my example painting here, that's what I do, is I paint the edges, because some artists do get into framing, which I don't do. I have in the past a little bit here and there, but you know what? It's too much pain in the butt for me. Plus, hello, Gloria. Thanks for being here. Hello, Diane. But I have found that my collector base customers really, really love to just hang it as is. They can hang it up with one tack. It's super light. If you're using the type of canvases that I am, if they want to get it framed, then let them frame it. Let them frame it and pick out the type of frame that they want, the color that will match their decor and things like that. Now, there's all different types of collectors, right? My collector base, and I say customers too, because a lot of us, when we hear collectors, we're like, oh my God, I'm not good enough to have collectors. Listen, anybody that purchases art and buys numerous pieces, they're a collector, right? So it doesn't matter if it costs them $5 or $5,000. They're an art collector. But these are the canvases I'm painting on right now. And not sure, maybe backwards for you, but I just got these at Hobby Lobby. They're the pack of 5 value pack. 5 of these canvases, hello, that were $20 and they were on sale for only 13 bucks. OMG, that's amazing. All right, so at this point, I would probably blow dry it a bit, but guess what? My blow dryer broke, so this is all I have to blow dry it with, which I could do my hair with at the same time if I was going to use this. I don't even know if this thing would work. Maybe, but my blow dryer's dead. So if you paint slow, then you won't have to blow dry it. But this is still a little wet, but whatever. I'm going to do wet on wet here. Okay, so I'm going to start painting the mountains next and put those in here. This, believe it or not, this line right in the middle, when I first created this painting, was a mistake. And it came out to be a cool mistake. And my first customer that purchased it just loved it. And then I went on to sell numerous designs, numerous paintings of the same one. So that's how I'm painting it. If you want to paint it differently, you most certainly can. But we are going to do this next. We are going to do the mountain range in the back, which is the same colors that we used for the sky, except darker. Okay, can you see that? Can you see how those are a little bit darker? So we're going to use black, blue, and a little bit of white. All right. So let me try and get a good mix of that on my brush. First off, behind the scenes, you can't see. My water jar is right behind you, and I'm just rinsing off some of that paint on my flat brush that we just used to do this creation. If you're just joining us, then I just want to remind you, Creative Warriors, the membership that I have for you is open right now until Sunday night. Go ahead and jump in. If you're not sure how, go ahead and ask me, and I will make sure that you get there. But we would love to welcome in new members. So go ahead and jump in if you want. And the membership is, yes, I give you a painting tutorial per month, but it is highly geared towards how to help you market yourself as an artist, sell your paintings, get customers, do art shows, sell your paintings in numerous ways like auctions and things like that. So that's what that's all about. Of course, you can ask me anything that you would like. We also are having fun, and we are doing this on the page today together, like all together, because not only is Creative Warriors open, but we also are doing the Paint in Business Challenge. That is only $10 to get in, kind of a no-brainer. So if you're not in that and you want to jump in, go ahead and do so. It's only going to last until Sunday night, but you will have access to everything, even the stuff that happened yesterday, for up to a month, okay? All right, so I just loaded, like I said, on my brush some black and blue and a tiny bit of white. So I'm using an angled brush here. You could just use a flat brush or you could use a round brush. That's totally fine. Now I'm just going to kind of look at my reference over there that I just showed you. I'll show you again in case you're just popping on. And I'm going to start painting the tips of these mountain ranges. Is the painting I'm doing now going to 100% match this one? No, it's going to be very similar, but this is, every one that we do is a hand creation, right? Okay. So I'm going to kind of figure where I want that line. I do a lot of I'm not touching my canvas. I'm just kind of using my hands to figure out where I want to place things. And I'm going to go boo, 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 like this. I'm just using the tip. That's why I like these angles so much. I'm just using the tip of my brush just to kind of get an idea of where I want this mountain range to be. And I am, like I said, looking at my reference painting back here. And I'm trying to get it close. I'm sure it will be, but it's not, like I said, going to be exact. So sometimes I might get a little quiet when I'm creating, and that's just because I'm focusing on what I'm creating. All right, so now I'm just loading my brush a little bit more. Hello, Jane. Thanks for being here. Hello, Natalie. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping on. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the mirror image onto this side, the best that I can. So I might be a little quiet here while I just try and get that on. Do, 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 do. Or maybe I will just hum. I don't know. We'll see what happens with my creative brain. All right. Dun, 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 dun. See what I did there? I just kind of went like this and kind of touched down here like, oh yeah, that's the spot that I want it. I'm going to give you a tip right here too. If you think too much about something before you put your brush down, sometimes it's harder. So it will be nice and fun and easy if you're like, don't second guess yourself. Even if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do that, then stop it. Stop it. You can do it. Just try it. Give it a shot. And plus, guess what? It's only paint. You can paint over it, right? So have I made mistakes before in the past? Yeah. I mean, because I'm not perfect, and I still to this day know that I'm not the best painter in the world, but that's okay. I have fun. And that's what it's all about. All right, so now I'm just going to continue to put some color in here, and I want you to look at the reference for a moment, because so that's what I was doing, was I was outlining the mountain tips in the background here. And now I'm going to paint in some of this darker color in the mountains. But do you notice how it gets lighter as it goes down? So you want to keep this in mind, because that will make it look further out in the distance. Okay? All right. So let's just kind of pull some of this color. Pull some of this color. Go ahead and join in the convo. Ask me anything you want. Please let me know if you are painting along or if you're going to come back and pause and paint, because I will leave the recording on here for you. Creative Warriors is open right now. I open 2 times a year to the public, once in May and once in September. So I'm really excited about that. And we would love to have you join. So if you want to, go ahead and jump in. This is your chance. Same with the Paint and Business Challenge that is happening right now. Some of you have actually paid your $10, but you forgot to join the group. So alert, alert, go ahead and jump into that group. If you are not sure where to find it, go ahead and let me know, and I will give that to you. You most likely have an email from me because that info should have been in there. But I'm all about trying to help you out and find where you need to go. So some of you already painted the apple orchard, which we did, yesterday, and that was pretty awesome. Okay, so you see what I'm doing is I'm going from top to bottom so I can try and make this mirror image. So try and make the reflection, right? And I'm not too worried about it being 100% completely perfect. If you're just joining me, I am using just fluid craft paints. That's all I'm using. And I'm using my Fancy Dancy palette, which is a foam plate. So anyway, that's what's happening. I'm mixing a little black into my blue and picking up some white. Now, I just grabbed a little bit more blue, and I'm just kind of touching down, because even though this looks kind of cool, it's just my own personal preference that I just wanted to add a little more blue into here, and I think it looks kind of cool. Now, I'm going to be painting this, fairly fast, but if you're like, whoa, I can't keep up, you most certainly can take your time. You don't have to paint as fast as I do. Let me know. I'm curious to know if you are a fast painter or if you like to take your time, depending on what I'm creating, right? Like when I paint for my home decor, type of collector base, and I know that I'm, selling them paintings that are typically under $100. I'm painting some fast paintings, but they're beautiful. They're gorgeous, even though, I don't spend a ton of time. Now, if I'm doing something that's really, super detailed and put more time into it, then, obviously that's going to be priced a little higher. But we talk all about prices inside of Creative Warriors, and we share our ideas. We have brainstorm sessions. We do that twice a month, and we have a lot of fun. I have a ton of trainings in there for you on our business, as well as creating, right? Because I do give you that painting tutorial per month, and I do give you a marketing pack with that as well that you can turn around and make money with. All right, so as I'm talking, look, my paint is dripping all over the place. Let me just grab some more white that hopefully does not seep into all my other colors, because I need to make this even lighter right in here. So I'm still using my angled brush, and it's actually drying a little bit. So in that case, I'm going to stick my brush into my medium that I'm using, just so that this can flow a little bit better across. And I'm just, right here, I'm using kind of quick, fast, like little X motions, and then kind of smoothing certain sections out. I don't want to smooth the whole thing, but I want to smooth a little bit of it out, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to grab some white here and just trying to make the mirror image. And like I said, it's not going to be 100% perfect, and that's fine by me. That's fine by me, because every painting is an original. And guess what? Your customers that want to, claim and purchase your pieces, they know that. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a painting. Do they think that it should be look like an exact photo? No, because it's a painting. All right, so take the pressure off yourself that way. Hello, Linda, aka Creative Warrior. Same with Jane, aka Creative Warrior. Thanks for being here. All right, let me show you again the example that we're using. So we just worked on these mountains right here. And now, I don't know if you can see, but in the distance, there's even another line of mountains behind all of these fall trees. So we're going to put that in. Now that line is even darker than this background, okay? And that's why we wanted to kind of brush in a little bit of white here, because when we put that other line of mountains in, we want it to stand out a little bit. All right, I could have actually, now let me look again. I'm wondering if I actually used a little bit of brown in there. No, I didn't. I think I just used my regular blues. All right, my blues and blacks. Okay, let me just get some of this paint off my brush. I'm not worried about rinsing everything off because we're kind of using the same colors. So now we're going to do just what we did before. We're going to do a little bit of black and a little bit of that blue. And I'm not going to put any white into this one. I'm just doing black and blue. Now, if you put a lot of black into anything, it's going to turn it black. So be careful with your black, and just use it sparingly at first. Okay, so now I'm going to make some lines like we did here. I'm going to do it again with a darker color. Actually, I even need it darker than that. So let me grab a little bit more. I want that to even be darker. And I'm using the tip of my brush, just kind of the tip right here of my flat brush, just to kind of carve in where I want my mountains to go, right? And remember, you can make them any way you want, but because this is the fall reflections, we are going to want to do the same thing on the bottom or close to it, okay? You know, I was examining my reference, a second ago, because like I said, I thought I had some brown in there, but as I pulled it closer, I didn't see that. But you most certainly, Linda said, I'm a slow painter. I know you are, Linda, but you're cranking. You're doing so good. And you're making so many sales, too, that you were like, whoa, I didn't even think that would happen. So congratulations. And Linda, you are just so cute. You're amazing. I don't know. I had a squirrel moment because I was talking to Linda, who is just super duper amazing. And, yeah. Okay, I know what I was going to say now. If you want to put a little bit of brown into here, you can experiment with that because that would look kind of cool too. I actually, like I said, I thought that I had some in there, but when I pulled up the painting, it just looked like the black and the blue. So that's what I'm going with here. Right now, I'm just copying what's up here, down here, like an upside down image. Okay. You know what might help you if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I mean, you know, you can do it. You got to believe in yourself. But if you're like, no, I can't. If you put it like this and just kind of go like that, sometimes it's easier to, like I can see right here, like I need to come out here a little bit more, right? So here's a little trick. Pull that up more. I need more paint. I need more paint, black and blue. Mash that in there on my angled brush. And then sometimes our brain is like, oh yeah, when you turn it that way, then I can do it. Then I get it. And see how it's not really coming out super duper dark there, like this side? That's because my paint is still wet on there. And I'm kind of painting wet on wet. Because like I said, my blow dryer pooped out on me. And if you weren't here earlier, this is what I found, right? Tim bought me this for Christmas to like, you plug it in, you blow dry it. Do you have one of these? And you can do your hair. You can do your hair and probably dry your painting at the same time. But I didn't turn this gadget on yet. I'm like, I'm just going to paint wet on wet and hope for the best. Hope for the best. All right. So there we go. We don't have to worry about, you know, taking this in too far because we're going to have trees there. We're going to have all those beautiful fall color trees covering that. Okay. So, yeah, so you could try it out. You could turn it this way if you wanted to see if that's easier to kind of get the reflection going. Once again, we're doing fall reflections. This is what we are painting. So the next things we are going to do is we are going to put these tall, skinny little trees in the background. Do you see those? Can you see that okay? So there's some of those tall trees in the background. That looks to me like I used green and black because they're pretty dark, and that's what I'm going to use. All right, so I'm going to just grab some green, and I'm just using cheap old craft paints, right? Here's a little tip. If you want to put like an extra add, hello Ruby, thanks for being here. If you want to put like an extra added classy touch on a painting that you do that's all like craft paints, you literally, when it's actually it doesn't even have to be dry, but what I usually do is to put some added pizzazz on it. I will use some of my thick heavy body 2 paints, squirt those out on my handheld palette, and just go ahead and put some spots in there, like maybe a tree or maybe in the sun or whatever stands out to you in the painting. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you get my drift. All right, so I'm going to put some green on my palette right here. This one is Christmas green. And oh my gosh, that will be coming up before we know it. I'm going to use the same brush that I was just using, which is my angled brush. I mean, I have a gazillion angled brushes. The angles are my favorite. Let me know what your favorite brush is. But I do use my angled most often. All right, so I'm going to grab a little bit of my black here and put that into my Christmas green because we're doing a quick fast painting here. But I will give you a tip as well. If you want like a really nice earthy green, dip a little bit of black into yellow, spin that around. It's going to give you an earthy green. You can even add a dab of blue into that to kind of brighten it up a little bit if you want. But when I'm trying to make more like realistic kind of things, I love to mix my green that way. All right, so that's what I did. I put some green and black together on this brush, and I'm going to use the chiseled edge to get those trees, those skinny little trees right in the background here. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so wherever we put them, we want to make sure that they're going to go, you know, right down here as well, because we're doing the reflection. All I'm doing is touching on that chiseled edge and pulling down. Like, really, it's that simple. Okay, so a little bit of black into Christmas green, even though we're painting fall paintings here. That's what's happening. All right, so I want to go like over the mountains. Like, I mean, the trees are in front of the mountains, but I want to paint them up like past some of the mountain range. Does that make sense? Because I want you to be able to, I want them to be able to actually see. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Sometimes it's hard to talk and paint. I'm sure you're sitting at home laughing at me. And that's fine because I'm happy if you're happy. Okay. I gotta be quiet for a second so I can just put some of these in. That's literally all that's happening. I'm just touching down and just doing the upside down ones at the same time. Like I said, though, if you are having a difficult time doing this, watch what I'm going to do right here. You can try turning your canvas this way. If it makes sense to you more so to kind of go like this, sometimes our brain will respond better with the canvas this way. There we go, voila. All right, so that's all we had to do. Now, I'm gonna be brave and I'm still painting wet on wet here because I have the weird looking hair curler / blow dryer that, you guys, I'm not even gonna plug in because I'm sure it's gonna be all bad. And now we are going to, but basically you can hit this with the blow dryer whenever there's a lot of wet paint, like these little trees that we just made, because we are going to put all of these beautiful fall trees on top of those skinny little ones that we just did. Okay, so as you can see, I got red in here, orange, yellow. You can mix up any beautiful fall colors you want. Purples would be great in here as well. Whatever your little painting heart desires, okay? So go ahead and mix up some of those colors, and then we will start putting them on our painting. If you're not painting with me right now, but you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to watch and see what happens and then paint it later, that's fine. You can come back and pause and paint. Totally fine. Okay, so give me a second so that I can mix up some color, meaning pour it on my palette. I'm going to use some yellows. And I'm going to use some red. I don't have an orange here, so I'm just going to mix it. Anybody know how to make orange? I'm sure you do. Okay. So I want to also, basically that's all, no, I got red, then I have yellow, and I'll make orange. Okay, I'm going to do those three colors. So all I did was put yellow and red on my palette. I'm just rinsing my brush off. That's right behind you. I know you can't see it, but I really don't want that to sit in the water jar because I love that brush. And if you let your paint sit in the water jar too long, they can actually start bending, and then they're not good. So don't let them sit in the water jar for more than like 20 minutes, okay? You don't want that to happen. Now I'm just going to move my disgusting water jar that you don't want to drink, by the way, over to the side. And voila, I have another one right here. I was going to say I have another clean one right here, but does this look clean? Probably doesn't from the outside, but inside is clean water. Okay, it's because I've used that many, many, many times. All right, so I just want to put my brush aside. When I'm done painting, guess what? When I'm done doing a live like this, I'm going to go into the bathroom and I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to wipe it back and forth on my soap, my bar soap, and I'm going to kind of rub the soap into it and then rinse it out like this and kind of drag it back and forth and move it with my fingers a bit to make sure I get all the paint out of that really close up spot where it's squished and connected to that metal. Because if you don't get that out, your brushes are going to eventually get ruined. Trust me, I got a bunch of ruined brushes. Okay. I might need, what do I want to do first? Let me try and decide here. I'm looking at my reference photo. I want to figure out what color trees I want to put in here first. You know what? I'm going to go yellow, then orange, then red. Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to grab this bristly brush. I have a couple of them here, different sizes. So we'll see, but I'm going to take the larger one first and see what I can create with that. So I'm sticking that bristle brush into the water, and then I'm tapping it down like this on my paper towel because we don't want these dripping wet. These bristly brushes will work better if it's damp but not dripping wet, okay? So I'm gonna take a little bit of white and mix it into my yellow. I can tell I'm gonna need more white already, so let me throw some of that on there. Oh my gosh, I literally just threw a whole glob on my carpet. That's okay, it's a studio. I know stuff's gonna get ruined. Just pick a piece of paper towel and just wipe it up with that. Fine, we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a little white into my yellow. You don't have to do that, but I think that my yellow looks better with a little bit of white. All right, so now I'm just gonna tap down and create these beautiful fall trees. And I want to make the reflection. So I want to make sure that I'm, doing my best to hit both sides. Now, my brush is getting a little bit muddied, it's called in the art world. That's because I'm painting wet on wet, so my brush is picking up some darker colors that are underneath. So I just had to kind of twirl that onto my paper towel and mush it back and forth to get a lot of that paint off. I'm not rinsing it yet. And I'm going to grab some more white into yellow, make sure I get a nice thick glob on there. All right. It does not have to be perfect. Everything does not have to be perfect. I want to keep reminding you of that because I think that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And as artists, like, oh my gosh, we have to make that better. Nobody's going to like it, blah, 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 blah. And do you know how many paintings I've sold that I didn't like? I'm like, oh my God, nobody is going to like it. And I'm like, I'm just going to put it in my collector's group, see what happens, and voila, Have I sold every single piece that I've ever painted and created and put out there? No. But I have sold, I would say, 95% of them. So, you can't be hard on yourself. There's always going to be some that, something that you don't like or you're, a little self-conscious of. But put it out there anyway because people like different things, right? And art is subjective. Somebody might really, really love it. I guess I'm kind of going a little Oops, this one was like, I might have to do my little flippity do here. This one needs to come up a little bit. This one has to have a different, there. Talking to myself because I'm good like that. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Actually, it does help when you turn your canvas like that. It helps me anyway. I'm curious to know for you how that's going to work if you do it. Okay, so since I already have a little bit some yellow on here, I'm going to just do my orange now. So I'm just going to mix my orange up, which is, actually, no, that's coming out kind of pink. Duh, don't do that because I had some white in there. So now it's looking like peach, and I don't want that to happen. Back up, rewind. I'm going to just do yellow into white to make, yellow into red to make my orange. All right, so I got to get a little more yellow here. And the darker colors, you always want to put less in as the mix because they're going to be the most dominant, and then see how you like it. If it's, not dark enough, then you can grab more of the dark, but that's kind of how I roll. And I don't care if there's different colors in there. See, like it's not all mixed in. That's fine by me because I like to kind of mix on my canvas as I'm painting it. Bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, ba. Now these colors will get brighter and brighter if I let this dry and then I put another coat on it. So I'm just giving you the heads up. You might want to do that with your painting. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to do one layer. Once again, I'm using a bristle brush, and we are painting the fall reflections. We are celebrating the opening of Creative Warriors membership. We are open right now to the public. If you are thinking about joining at any time, now is your chance. We would love to have you. We are open until Sunday night at midnight. So go ahead and jump in. We do creative things in there, like I do a painting tutorial with you monthly with a gold rights design, I call it. But the membership is geared mostly to teach you how to market yourself online as an artist, how to make money with your art, how to do art shows, how to set up what we call a collector's group, and fun things like that. And yeah, we would love to have you. We also are having a good time here on the page because we have the Paint and Business Challenge happening right now, which is going on. And this is a bonus painting. We're painting 2 amazing paintings plus doing some business trainings inside of that challenge. And yesterday we painted this inside of the Paint and Business Challenge, the apple orchard. We are going to be painting Solitude, which is a beautiful lake scene with a dock that goes out, and it's really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to do, we've got some yellow, we've got some orange. Now I'm going to grab some red. And let me know what colors you would want to put in here. I really know purple would look nice as well. Yeah, so we're just doing like a fun, quick, fast painting. You can pause and paint on the recording if you're like, whoa, this is too much. I can't get it all done. That's totally fine. Actually, I'm looking at my reference photo, and it looks to me like I toned down this red in here, probably with a little bit of blue, because look how red that is, as opposed to my reference. So you can do that as well as if you want to put a little dab of blue into your red, which will tone it down. But right now I'm going to be brave. I'm just going to go straight red, and then we can always like kind of tone it down a little bit after. All right. Whoa, what was that? And you can see that, I don't know on camera if you can tell or not, but a little bit of it is kind of transparent. And that's because I'm going to need to put another layer of red in here to make it not so transparent. Will we get to that tonight? Probably not. But all you would have to do is, if you can see through your trees, say that 10 times fast, then you're going to want to go back over and put another layer in there. All right. Red is a very vibrant and dominant color, and the eye likes to go right to it. So, you know, be careful using red on your paintings if you want your eye to go to another area, okay? Because red is going to suck your eye right in. Hello. Sounds like a scary Halloween movie. But, you know, in this case where we're doing the fall trees and I'm mixing the reds all throughout this tree line, I think it looks kind of cool. So that's totally fine. Fine with me. All right, I'm going to show you, even though it's still wet on wet, in the bright red, I do like it. But if you wanted to have a different tone color, different value inside of the trees for like shading, I grabbed a little bit of blue and put it into my red. And then you get like a little bit of like a deep purpley color. And then you literally can touch down and add some different darker tones to your red to make that pop out. You can do that, you know, with all of your trees here, which we're not going to have time to do right now. But if I wanted to, then I could use like, and I'm saying this out loud so that you can hear and get some ideas. Hello, Dory. Thank you for being here. So you could use for yellow, you could use different tones in that. Like, thank you, Jane. You could use orange in the yellow, or you could use a brighter yellow with even more whites. For the orange, you can mix a little yellow in there. You could put a little orange into the yellow, like just kind of, you know, mix and match a little bit, but you don't want to put too heavy of a color in with either a highlight or a low light. I hope that makes sense, because if you do, then it's just going to look like all the same tree right across. So hopefully it doesn't look like that. All right, so now I'm going to go back to, hold on, I got a brain cramp. I do have to move my paper towel here because I am getting a little bit messy, as you can see here. So I need to get my paper towel moved so I have a different spot. All right, what was I saying? I need to look at my reference photo. Let's look at the my reference painting. So let's look at it. Now, next, I want to put a little bit of impression of tree trunks back here. Do you see these? Can you see that? Where it's like, you can see like some of the white, like some of the birch tree whites way in the back. And then there's some darker colors like in through here. So I want to get those put in. So first I'm going to use my white because I think that looks super cool. And I'm using my angled brush, dipping it into my white. And then I'm going to use that chiseled edge of my brush to just put in some branches. I mean, what was I saying? Trunks. These don't have to be perfect, and they shouldn't be perfect because we're just literally making like an impression, right? Like an impressionistic part of the painting. Touching. You can even drag a little bit if you want. That's fine. I could get carried away with that. Okay, so we don't want to put too many because this is a far away. We're looking at this from far away, right? All right, so now you can use black or brown or a mix of both. Let me see, bring this a little closer and see what I want to do. So I want to do a little bit, mostly black with a little bit of blue. That's what I want to do. Mostly black with a little bit of blue. So this is going to be pretty dark. But you most certainly could use browns for this part if you would want. But I'm going to use that chiseled edge again on this brush. And I'm going to make some impressions just by touching down of the tree trunks. Once again, this is in the distance. We don't have to worry about even like the birch trees. It's not like we're going to go and put, you know, all of the detail in the birch trees. It's impossible. You wouldn't be able to see that far away. So I'm just touching down in a few different areas. See what I did there? I put the 3 in there, and then a couple there, and voila. We'll put a darker one right on the end like that too, to kind of even it out a little bit. Actually, I want to put one there. See, what I'm doing is I'm looking, kind of putting my head back, like where else do I want these? And you can go ahead and make those choices for your painting, like where should they be? And, you know, it's not 100% perfect, but I'm totally liking it, and I think I'm having a darn good time, and I'm liking how it's coming out. All right, so I'm going to take my black, and then watch this. I'm just going to make my lines right here. I want to cover that one, though. I'm going to cover that one. So these don't have to be perfectly straight across, which is good because it's not going to be. They don't have to be perfectly straight across. What I'm doing here is I'm creating this mid-range of the painting. And as you can see, these lines are not perfect, and that's okay because they don't have to be. If you want them to be, you totally can, but they don't have to be. So I'm just using, once again, blue, a dab of blue into black, and I am, oh, actually, I need to bring this up higher, like that. Bring that up higher. There we go. As I'm talking, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting that exactly how I wanted, but I realized, and now I am. Just painting the sides of my painting again, and then watch this. I'm just going to kind of touch down and flick up. Touch down and flick up. I want to kind of show you what I'm doing even closer. So touch down with the brush and then flick up quickly. And then what it's doing is it's making it look like there's all kinds of other little bushes and branches right in front of that tree line that you just made. Okay? So that's the purpose of touching down and flicking up like that. I'm just getting a little more black on my palette. I really hope that you're enjoying this and having a good time. I do want to, you know, remind you that the recordings that I do here on the page, I always leave these. So especially with like painting stuff. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm catching this, but I don't have my paints ready, and it's like, I don't have time to do this right now. You don't have to sweat it. You literally can pause and paint whenever you want. Just go ahead and come back here to Amy Parker Art and go ahead and check out the recording because it will be left on here for you. For those of you who are in the Paint and Business Challenge that is happening right now, we already painted the apple orchard, but you most certainly can, if you missed that, you most certainly can check out the recording because it's in the guide section and the featured. Remember to check the guide and features on anything that you are looking for because I have everything all nice and organized for you. And we are going to be doing some business trainings as well as the fun paintings, which is the apple orchard that we did, and we're going to be doing solitude as well. All of these paintings are part of Creative Warriors membership. Every month I give them a painting tutorial where I give them gold rights to turn around and sell that painting to their own customers. And you most certainly can do that too if you become a Creative Warrior, because we are open to the public right now until Sunday night. And I'm super duper excited to be welcoming new members, and I really hope that you join us, especially if you're thinking about running a little art business right from the comfort of your own home. If you like to paint and you want to start getting some of your paintings out there and start building your own collectors group and start having some online art shows and things like that, we'd love to have you in there. Hello, Daryl. Thank you so much for being here, aka Creative Warrior. All right, well, as you can see, I made a wonderful mess all over the place, even dropped some paint on the rug tonight. Oh yeah, we got to paint in the birds. So we just got done painting fall reflections, and now we are going to paint those birds in. Birds are super easy to paint the way that I'm going to show you. As soon as I find my brush that I need. All right, so to paint the birds, I'm actually going to use my script liner, it's called. It has a long bristle, help me out, people. It has a longer, stem here, whatever you want to say, than a liner brush. And that's why I like to use this one, because it seems to kind of flow easier. But you most certainly can just use a liner brush. That's totally fine. But I'm putting a lot of water on the brush itself and into the paint. And then I'm dragging and rolling the brush back like that, so I can have that paint right all into the brush there and be able to paint it like I was writing with ink or something. So I just did a V, literally down and up. I just made a V. And let me pull this up. Hopefully I don't get paint all over it. I literally just made a V right there in the sky. Now we're going to make an M. Okay, so we're going to do an M. We're going to do like a pretty M. Do you see that pretty M right there? Now we're going to do another M going the other way, or just kind of moved differently. Then all I did was make a little line right down in the middle of the two M's. So hopefully that makes sense. This one's a little tricky. I need to kind of paint them upside down, which is difficult for my brain to grasp. So I'm going to go this way. And they don't have to be totally perfect, like I said. They really don't. They don't have to be totally perfect. Someone's looking at your painting, they're not going to be like, oh my gosh, is that totally, I better get out my ruler and make sure that's perfect. No. Now, these script liners are wonderful to sign your name as well. And you are the artist, so you want to sign your painting. I sign and date all of my paintings, and I hope you do too, because you should be signing them. You never know. You could become world famous someday. All right. Hope you had a good time. Hope you had fun. Did you all have fun tonight painting fall reflections? Once again, it is a rendition of a painting I already created right here. And as you can see, they're not 100% the same, but they look very similar. And we had a really, really good time. I am giving you rights to go ahead and turn around and sell this if you want. My going rate for this painting is $60. More for a larger size, or like I actually did one for one of my customers, Donna. She's so amazing. I did a three panels of this painting, big long one. She loves it. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I will come back intermittently and check. I try and keep up on replying back to you as quick as I possibly humanly can. And yeah, hope to see you inside of Creative Warriors. Can't wait to keep having fun with you inside of the Paint and Business Challenge. Hello, Leroy. Oh, thank you so much, honey. He said that you do beautiful work. I appreciate that. So anyway, that's that. Any of my collectors that are on here, Just letting you know, these paintings are available if you want to claim any. And then so are the other ones that we are painting this week. So I do have Apple Orchard available. And I also have the Solitude one. So go ahead and reach out. And love you all. Hope you have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.